WNYathletics.com would like to thank today's sponsors. Howard Hanna Real Estate Services. Ready to sell your home? Visit howardhanna.com today. Howard Hanna. Home happens here. Western New York Immediate Care, with 4 convenient locations in the Buffalo area: Amherst, Buffalo, Depew, Lancaster, and Orchard Park. Western New York Immediate Care is now offering telemedicine services to provide you care anytime, anywhere. Visit WNY Immediate Care on-site or virtually at WNYimmediatecare.com. Logistics Plus Buffalo is your go-to resource for all your transportation needs. LP moves freight of all shapes and sizes all across the world. Call LP Buffalo today at 716-877-9653 or email buffalo@logisticsplus.com. AdPro Sports. AdPro is the largest team sports dealers and brand merchandise providers in the nation. For a variety of custom merchandise solutions, from apparel to promotional items, visit adprosports.com. Empire Electric. For all your home, business, or office electrical needs, call Empire Electric at 716-634-0330. Free estimates and financing available for all customers. Empire Electric. Call 716-634-0330.
Let's go! Come on! Let's go! Come on! Come on! Let's go! Need it done! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, baby! Come on!
You're the visitor. You get the call.
Good Thursday evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to Sweet Home High School for high school football. It's the Sweet Home Panthers and the McKinley Macs. Hello, folks, joined by longtime head coach Mike Fata. I'm Jack Cruiser for another week of Thursday night high school football on Western New York Athletics, and this one should be one big matchup. Playoff implications surely at the forefront of both teams' minds. Sweet Home needs the win. They are currently 2-2 in conference play, and they have a divisional game here today in must-win style against the undefeated McKinley Macs, who look to avenge their loss to the Panthers last season. Mike, your thoughts entering today's game?
Yeah, I think McKinley's in the driver's seat for sure for in terms of the division, and this is a must-win for Sweet Home if they want to, be a player in that division.
So we'll see how it plays out. At this time, however, we'll go downfield to Francis Beck for his pregame preview. Francis?
Hey, Jack, Mike, this is a very important game for these Sweet Home Panthers. They really cannot afford a loss. The only way a 3-loss Sweet Home team can get into the playoffs is if both Ken West and Williams Elite East lose out. Now, if all 3 of those teams are tied at 4-2, Sweet Home, Ken West, Will East, it's actually Sweet Home that would win the 3-way tiebreaker in that one and would end up as the 2 seed in that scenario. So Sweet Home really needs to win this game. It starts tonight beating McKinley. Jack, Mike, I'll send it back to you.
That it does start tonight for Sweet Home today. They enter today off of a loss last week at Riverside. At Hamburg. They lost 38-8 in a bit of a stunning upset. The Bulldogs were able to walk over the Panthers last week, moving Sweet Home down to 2-3 overall and 2-2 in A2. It will be the McKinley Macs offense to take the field first here today, and we'll see which of their 2 quarterbacks comes out to start under center. It's either number 2, Brandon Liggins, or 4, Azari Adunye. Coach, when you've got 2 quarterbacks that have different skill sets, how does that change your route of starting a game?
Well, I know I can speak to defensively. They're probably going to key off who's in there because, with the 2 different skill sets bring 2 different offenses, right? So I think defensively, Sweet Home would definitely be keying on who they're looking at out there. And, offensively, I think they're going to do what they do.
It's Tyron Hughes in the backfield at running back for the Macs next to Azari Adunye. The senior takes the snap, rolls to the right. Adunye cuts up at the 25. Hit by a few Panthers and finally dropped for a good gain on first.
Dunier right away taking that. That was all run, that play. That was not a scramble, and they want to get him hit early maybe.
Hakeem Williams, the junior, in on the tackle for Sweet Home. Under head coach Jeremy Zinner, these Panthers have worked with Zimmer for 5 years after the legendary Coach Fowler retires at Sweet Home. Zimmer, who learned a lot from Fowler, slides into his place and has led this team to some success in recent years. Here is number 17, Ronnie White. Shifty.
Sweet Home ball.
Fumble recovered by the home team. How about that?
Well, if you're up against somebody that that has a better record and maybe playing better than you, that's how you want to start a game. You want to get the ball in their territory and start off the right way.
Ronnie White, who seemed to be secure of the ball, lost control at the max 36-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers. And their sophomore quarterback, Rocco Panapinto, leads the offense.
Just the start that Sweet Home wanted, I'm sure.
This flag before the snap. We'll see who this is on. Change of possession. Hard to believe this will be on the offense, and it will not be.
Got 12 out there.
Striding off the field was number 54, Zahan Anderson, who seemingly shouldn't have been out there for first down.
You thought so.
He definitely wanted to be out there. Well, you like the eagerness out of your guys right away.
Put me in, coach.
1st and 5. Handoff, Jordan Theodore. The senior already this season has over 500 yards rushing. I beg your pardon, he's well over 500. He's now eclipsed the 900 mark with that run of 6. It'll be a first down for the Panthers at the 25.
Theodore's got some burst. You could tell he was a guy away from breaking that in the first play of the game for them.
2 wide to the bottom of your screen, 1 up top. In motion springs Billy Cavanis. Panapinto claps and receives the snap. Another Theodore run, a flag thrown near the line of scrimmage. Holding against the Panthers will back him up.
That flag came out immediately. I didn't see the hold, Jack, but it's a quick call there for a holding call.
Look to be on that offensive line that has been impressive so far this season. Herman Wooten there, the man wearing 77 in the middle of the O-line. They're sliding guys around after some injuries have forced some changes up front. Herman Wooten, the man snapping the ball, usually a right guard. He slides over to center, so some changes there. In shotgun, 5 yards away is Panapinto. A fine snap handled and handed off to Theodore. Met at the line of scrimmage. Busting through was number 34. That's Malik Kent.
Yeah, Kent came screaming off the right side of that McKinley defense. A lot of pulling for the Sweet Home offense. Guys pulling around to one side or another, and the McKinley defense there chasing from behind and hawking him down.
This McKinley defensive line, they combine for over 50 sacks so far this season. An impressive stat. At the end of the year, they're already at that mark just over halfway through.
A lot of speed up front for McKinley. It's something to watch as the game goes on.
2nd and 20. Panapinto throws near side. Incomplete. Good coverage on the play from Adunye.
Panapinto was under pressure. Flinch at all. He stepped into the throw, and I thought the receiver had a chance at it. Couldn't come down with it.
Stephen Butler. But good work from Adunye on that. Able to break it up. Brings up 3rd and long here. Maybe diving deep into the playbook here. Panapinto in shotgun. Hands it off. The end around. Irvin Myrie right around the line of scrimmage. He breaks away from one tackle before a minimal gain.
Yeah, the McKinley defense is too fast for that, and they were wise to it, I think. They were in weight. Someone strung it out there on the right side of their defense, and then the pursuit came quickly.
So now 4th down and well over 15. We'll see if they send out the kicking team with 2 soccer players on the roster. Instead, Panapinto will huddle around the offense for a long 4th down attempt.
Yeah, Panapinto might just throw it up here and going empty. There's no backs in. Maybe a quick kick or something where he gets the ball, rid of the ball quickly.
3 receivers to the right. Pressure coming. Stepping up in the pocket. Panapinto spins away from one. He's finally hit after a short gain at the 30. It'll be a turnover on downs, and the Panthers out their defense looking for another turnover again.
Yeah, not sure it's a design draw there, Jack, or that's just the immediate pressure to the defensive front. But either way, he had too much pressure early for that to work.
Around the edges, Rayshawn Riley and Shamonte Griffin putting on the pressure. All-out blitz on 4th and long. You knew something was coming with no man in the backfield.
Well, there's no doubt that the McKinley defense is quick up front, so that'd be something to watch as the game goes on. Maybe Sweet Home can take advantage of that and maybe run the ball a little bit more, but they're definitely, their speed is their strong point.
Here's the Mac's second drive offensively after a fumble ended their first. This time they hand it off to the sophomore who's approaching 1,000 yards rushing this season, Tyrone Hughes. A minimal gain on first gets him about halfway to the 1st down marker.
Sweet Home looking to have a sustained drive here, I'm sure, after the quick turnover in their first possession.
Shotgun snap. Adunye to the near side for Ronnie White. Spins away from one tackle. Fighting for yards. He's wrapped up before the 40.
Looked like he had some room there, but the Sweet Home defense closed quickly. Get them a chance on 3rd down. It's going to be 3rd and short.
Hakeem Williams, number 13 in black and gold today, made the play defensively to bring up 3rd and short. Still in the backfield is Tyrone Hughes. Adunye in shotgun. Hands it off to Hughes. Up the middle. Wrapped up by Wooten after the 1st down marker.
Yeah, the defense was there for Sweet Home, but that second effort from Hughes spun off a tackle and fell forward for enough yards.
6'1", 285, the senior Wooten, one of many seniors honored before the game started today on senior night, the final home game for the Panthers this season. 1st and 10 from the 41 for the McKinley Macs, who last year lost the battle between these two teams. Final score 53-26. Pass complete on the far side, charging towards the 1st down marker and making it just there is not.
And McDuffie is a smooth receiver. Got a good block out front there from his compadres, including number 21, big Kevin Borden.
Flag on the play, however, could back this one up, and it will against the Macs. If you're just joining us, the first drive of this game was a fumble from McKinley, recovered by Sweet Home. They picked up 1 first down, and then from there, it was a turnover on downs after the McKinley defense showed what they're all about.
A costly penalty there.
Holding call on the Macs. 1st and long now, 1st and 20. Adunye gets tripped up, looked like he ran into his own blocker. This could be a loss on 1st and long.
Sweet Home coming out on an odd front. They have a five-man front, probably to try to control those edges and mitigate the run offense from McKinley. There was nothing doing there.
They keep Azaria Adunye at quarterback. Head coach Brian Davis in his 4th year says Adunye's a top 3 athlete he's ever seen in his coaching career, not only at McKinley but overall. Adunye trying to make a play here. Throws on the run, too far ahead of Hughes. Incomplete on 2nd and 20. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
Kind of get the feeling that McKinley's on the verge of a big play every down, right? They're just looking for a little bit of execution, and they have the potential to go the distance every down, it seems. They have some skilled receivers that can do that, and a quarterback that can get it to them.
6'6" Kevin Borden is at the top end of your screen wearing number 21 in white. He's got 4 receptions this season for 250 yards. Adunye instead goes near side. Incomplete. He was looking for number 15, Shamonte Griffin, who tried to come back. It instead falls to the turf.
Yeah, good defensive start to the game, Jack. You know, back and forth a little bit. Some penalties affecting those drives, but that pass was underthrown. I don't think intentionally. But hey, it's Sweet Home ball and a little back and forth going on.
Well, Adunye's not the thrower of the 2 quarterbacks. That's what Brian Davis told us pregame. Brandon Liggins, who we will likely see at some point tonight taking snaps for the Macs, has thrown more passes and completed more passes for the McKinley offense. So we'll see how that changes the next time McKinley's offense takes the field. This time, however, it's a 4th and 20 at their own 32, and a flag will back them up even further.
A 2 deep return from Sweet Home. So a good strategy with a 4th and forever.
Jordan Theodore and Irvin Myrie, the deep returners. Punt from Ronnie White is high. It'll bounce before the 50 and take a friendly roll for the Macs. Down inside Sweet Home territory for the first time today. The Panthers will start off in their own side of the 50. We saw 1 first down from Sweet Home's offense the last time they were out, Coach. Rocco Panapinto doing most work on his legs.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they attack this offense here. I have a feeling that they have an advantage up front size-wise. I don't know if that's going to pan out for them in the run game, but certainly the speed of that McKinley front has stood out so far.
1st and 10 from their own 35. Here on Western New York Athletics, Thursday night high school football. Playoff implications. Jordan Theodore bounces out to the near side. Theodore across the 35, pickup of 4.
Well, that's what Coach Zimmer seemed to be thinking. They come out of that double wing. They just get numbers, throw numbers at the McKinley offense, or defense, I'm sorry. Let's see if they stay in that. They want to sustain a drive through the ground.
What are the advantages for that double wing for Sweet Home?
Just really throwing numbers at you. It's you're going to get a down block on one side, and you're going to pull around three guys from the other side and kind of outnumber you. Just see here, one way or another, it's going to be a numbers game.
Under center is Panapinto. Handoff inside. Elias Day up the middle. Picks up the first down.
Same deal. You're going to see guys pulling around and just throwing numbers and hoping there's a crease there, which there was. And, again, if you line of scrimmage there, sometimes the more trouble you get in, because if he creases those first few guys, it's trouble.
How about the sophomore Vidal Dinkins, number 71 on that offensive line, pulling from the right side. A good lead block for Elias Day. Averages 10 yards a carry. He picks up 6 on that play. 1st and 10 from the 46. No gain on the play.
And no gain because Big Carl Jones was saying it ain't working on me, but he was in the backfield before you know it. That straight dive was just right in Jones' lap.
6'3" is number 75. They didn't give us any weights on the roster for McKinley, perhaps to keep you thrown off by the size of this defensive line. You mentioned the speed, but when you've got that combination of both size and speed, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, McKinley very wise. They switched up personnel when they saw this double wing package coming in, and they got the 2 big guys right in the A-gaps there, right in the middle of the defense, and it certainly helps against this kind of offense.
Theodore to the near side. Out of bounds after a pickup of more than 5. Griffin pushes him out of bounds.
McKinley got upfield there with their defensive end. They weren't able to get underneath him for some good yards, but defensive end there doing a pretty good job. Rashawn Riley.
Hughes able to, or I beg your pardon, Theodore able to outrun the diving opposing running back at outside linebacker Tyrone Hughes, who fills in for Mekhi Shufford, who is the typical senior linebacker on the outside. But Mackay suffered a leg injury this week. He's out for today's game. Panapinto snaps it back. Again, it's Theodore. First down run and then some. Spinning his way past the 45. First down, Panthers.
Sweet Home starting to get some success here. Again, just throwing numbers at that McKinley defense.
It was Azaria Dunye who eventually dragged him down. He got help from Julian Crawford. The defensive coordinator, Shaq Dudley, making some changes based on how this Sweet Home offense came out. Panapinto, every snap so far under center. Fakes the pitch, wants to go deep. Panapinto throws incomplete.
I don't know if he got grabbed a little bit there, Jack. The back judge, I don't know, reached for something and he had second thoughts.
It was Zion Lee who was running towards the sideline on the previous play. Panapinto threw that one perhaps just out of catchable range.
I was just thinking the key to this, I think, is having patience offensively to just grind it out. It's hard to do, I think, when you're calling plays. You lose patience sometimes, and I think what happened there is, Coach Zimmer took a shot, right? But the key to this, I think, is just being content with getting a couple yards at a time.
They've done that so far. It's got them at 2nd and 10 inside the 45. Theodore lowers the shoulder and gets past the 40 before his momentum is stopped. Again, it's Carl Jones in the way.
You see these defensive backs making tackles. That's good news for Sweet Home. It's not the line of linebackers making them.
McDuffie, the junior, makes the play from the free safety spot.
Does bring up a third down, however. Be interesting call here.
You almost wish they saved that first down shot here for third down, 3rd and long.
Yeah, it's tough to it's tough to stay patient sometimes, right?
3rd and 7 from the 40. Panthers won this game last year in hefty fashion. The handoff inside today. He'll pick up the first down. If he doesn't, he's close. The pile still pushing. No whistle. Now one goes as the pile falls forward.
Another count. Again, that play is gone for seemingly at least 5, 6, 8 yards every pop. Got a change in personnel here for Sweet Home.
Elias Day picks up the first down by inches. They give it to him. 1st and 10 now at the 33. A minute and a half to go in the first quarter. We've seen a fumble recovery for the Panthers to give them their first offensive drive that went for naught. Back-to-back McKinley drives ended in no points. That fumble on their first and a punt on their second. We are still looking for our first score here from Sweet Home High School in a must-win game for the Panthers to keep their playoff hopes alive. Low snap, handled. Handoff around the edge. Cameron Millender gets met at the line of scrimmage, and the Macs swarmed the football to stop that attempt.
Yeah, a little different formation there out of Sweet Home. There was kind of a wildcat deal they had there.
It was Theodore who had to handle that snap on the ground there.
And he's pretty deep in the backfield, too. I don't know if that messed with his timing when he did bobble it a little bit, but 2nd and long. Be interesting to see if they go back to their double wing or if they go spread here and get back to their double wing thing.
We'll keep an eye on that center position, Herman Wooten, to see if he changes at all the offense for the Panthers. Theodore gets the handoff after the flag is thrown. Theodore's wrapped up in the backfield by Julian Crawford.
Not sure what the deal is here, Jack. The flag came out on motion.
That's Kenny Harris, our head ref, who relayed the call, but the Sweet Home offense is backing up. It seems as though Jeremy Zimmer wants to know what the call was as well. He can't believe it, but the illegal motion.
I think it was illegal shift. Like Kenny was going to detail, but we couldn't really hear him. I think he thought he might have had a microphone on.
For better or worse, we can't hear Kenny White today. Kenny Harris, I beg your pardon. Bob Vogt, Steve Hanukkah, Tony Scanzuso, and Mike Chattel are officials today. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. No score in a must-win game for the home team on their final game at home this season. The Panthers will look to avenge a second and long on the other side of this break for the second quarter right after this. But
right,
first,
Jack, Mike,
to Francis
we
Beck.
saw Tyrone Hughes for McKinley make a few good runs at running back. You know how he learned to do that probably? He's got a few tips from his coach, Brian Davis, a three-sport athlete down not too far away from here at Williamsville North. He was a running back there. He went on to be a running back at Edinburgh University. Also had a couple workouts in the CFL and the NFL. Quick note about Coach Davis. He is actually the nephew of Bennett coach Stephen McDuffie, and his cousin Nick Lachey played for the Green Bay Packers and Cincinnati Bengals and Baltimore Ravens in the NFL. Of course, we know Dylan is now playing for the Packers, so Coach Davis knows what he's doing and he knows about running backs. Jack, Mike, I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Francis. Now we'll send you to a break and come back for the second quarter of action here from Sweet Home on Western New York Athletics.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Second quarter just about ready to get underway. The Panthers, after that penalty before the snap of the last play, will back them up for second and long here. Second and about 15 from the 38. In shotgun is Panapinto. Takes the snap. A handoff on the end around. Irvin Myrie to the sideline. Myrie to the house. Touchdown Panthers.
Sweet Home caught McKinley in zero coverage, all man, no safeties, and unfortunately for McKinley, the man who had the player with the ball was all the way on the other side after motion and couldn't catch up to him when everyone else ran off on the other side and there was no one home.
Ronnie White was the last man back for the Macs. A good block on the far side ends up in 6 points for the Panthers. Awaiting the extra point, a timeout called by the home squad.
Just a timely call for Sweet Home. I don't know if they scouted that or they got lucky, but McKinley bringing pressure up the middle. Zero coverage, which means there's no safety. There was no one home after that quick motion reverse.
On the McKinley side, you call that zero coverage out of the quarter break. Were you trying to catch him off guard there?
You could do it for a few reasons. I'm not sure. Maybe they thought they're going to throw the ball and get some pressure. Maybe they don't have a lot of faith in Sweet Home throwing the ball under pressure. You could call it for a bunch of reasons, but it's the big reason that it's 6-0 right now.
Right. Now the extra point attempt will come off the leg. Well, there's Michael Hayter. He wasn't expected to be the kicker today, but Hayter, off a soccer game this week for the Panthers, makes it 7-0 for the home team. Crucial first score in this match, as of course the winner will, if it's McKinley, take a stranglehold on the division. If it's Sweet Home, stay alive in their playoff push.
Exciting start for Coach Zimmer and Sweet Home to get to the early lead at home against, the division leader and apparent powerhouse in this Class A. Good for them. Good start. Let's see if their defense can answer.
The McKinley Macs so far this season, they've only allowed more than 3 scores on them once, and that was in a conference battle against Kenmore West, a game that they ended up scoring 44 points in. Didn't matter that they gave up 27. They come off most recently a 22-14 victory at home against West Seneca West, a match where the Macs only threw the ball 8 times. It was all on the ground. For McKinley, this kick, a good one. will just barely roll in.
Thought the ball's going to linger around the 1 yard line. It didn't.
Boy, how crucial
Daryl Mean is pretty lucky because I don't know if he was even looking at the ball. I think he just assumed it was going to roll behind him, and it was bouncing around there. But big advantage for Sweet Home having a kicker that can kick it in the end zone. I mean, very rare, I think, in high school football, at least in Western New York, you have that. And that's something that you can kind of hang your hat on to get the ball on the 20-yard line every time.
Not only one kicker on the roster, but two. Zach McGowan was expected to start at the kicker position, also a soccer player. Instead, Michael Hayter perhaps had the better warm-ups today before today's game, so he gets the start. He gets the first extra point, capping off a Sweet Home drive that they ended in the end zone with a touchdown for Irvin Myrie. 1st and 10 for the Macs as they look to respond after suffering the game's first score against. There's Brandon Liggins at quarterback, throwing that one just too short.
Yeah, I think Liggins might have got hit as he thrown there. That ball came out very wobbly.
It'll be 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Liggins so far this season, 19 of 33 entering today, 3 touchdowns, no picks. 585 yards through the air. In shotgun is Liggins. Hands this one off to Tyrone Hughes. He is met at the line of scrimmage. Good effort from Cameron Melender to put an end to that run.
Sweet Home playing with a little swagger today. They are here to play. There's nothing doing on that run. And they got a 3rd and long here. Looking to get that ball right back if they can capitalize.
3rd and 11 at their own 19-yard line. Panthers looking for their 9th all-time victory over the McKinley Macs here today. They've lost just one time. It was in the playoffs in 2019. Liggins keeps it.
Well, Liggins is short. Their own end.
It'll be 4th down and short here after a decent pickup on 3rd and long, just not enough for the first. They keep the offense out there.
Interesting call here. Let's see.
Liggins looking near side. Pass caught by Ronnie White. Makes one man miss. White is stood up before the 30. It'll be a turnover on downs.
And we talked about patience out of Sweet Home earlier and be able to run the ball and stay in that. And I think that's an impatient approach to this drive. I know you're down. I know you're not accustomed to being down, but to do that and go for it on not even 4th and short, but 4th and I think it was 3 is, it's impatient to me. And, now you get the ball to Sweet Home with less than 30 yards to go.
It'll be 1st and 10 with over 10 minutes remaining in this first half. Sweet Home looking to score again after it was Irvin Myrie ending the first, or the most recent rather, offensive drive for the Panthers in the end zone. In shotgun is Panapinto. 3 receivers up top. Hand off to Theodore. Bounces to the left side. Jordan Theodore to the 20. He's down inside the 20-yard line after being wrapped up by Nigel McDuffie.
Yeah, 2 cents back there.
Flag on the.
Had a face mask. Never a fan of that back judge, Jack.
You think they had a bad angle on that one?
Nothing personal. Not that gentleman in particular, just the position.
Mike Chattel?
No, I love Mike Chattel is my favorite ref.
Okay.
He's on the side.
Are you conflicted then a bit today with
No, I don't. That's not Mike back there.
Oh, no. He's listed as the back judge.
Oh, maybe he is. I changed my mind then. Maybe he's my favorite ref.
1st down and 10 at the 11. It's really 1st and 10 at the 10. It's just before the 10, so they'll have a chance for that first down if they get down to the inch. Panapinto hands off to Theodore. Bust to the right side. Jordan Theodore down at the 2. A flag on the play as well.
Theodore's got some good feet, huh?
Sheesh.
You can see why he's approaching 1,000 yards. He can stick it in, stick his head down in there and plow through, but he can move quickly, and he kind of has a little one hopper that bounced the outside there, and he almost got in, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets in here.
He's got 12 touchdowns so far this season, entering week 6. Theodore, the lone man in the backfield. Direct snap to him. Up the middle, spinning his way to the 1. He's down by contact right there. This is 2nd and goal now.
Tell you what, I don't know that Sweet Home blocked anybody on that right side. They all ran in there, but somehow Theodore made something out of it and at least broke them even.
It was Shamonte Griffin who came in on the left side like a rocket, but he was behind the play.
Sweet Home's got to be saying right now, hey, everything you got to get this in the end zone, right?
Even with a change up front, Herman Wooten snapping the football. We've seen that a couple times, direct snaps to Theodore that have just fallen in the dirt. Perhaps a lack of reps from the center to the running back. They'll try it again here. In shotgun is Theodore. He takes the snap. He'll run right. He's not going to get anywhere near the goal line on 2nd down.
Yeah, Sweet Home that time going unbalanced. They have an extra lineman on the right side of the line, and that kind of, I don't know if that's a tell for them, but McKinley knew it, and they were over there waiting.
Rayshawn Riley, the man first on the play. He was helped by numerous Macs on that one. Perhaps a bit easier to play. Well, Coach, I'll ask you, is this easier or harder now that you've got 3rd and goal, 6 yards back from the goal line to defend?
To defend?
To defend.
Then 3rd and 1?
Well, you're thinking 3rd and 1. 2nd and 1, they're going to run the ball. But 3rd and 6 now.
Oh, to defend?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, further back, I guess, is better, right?
I'd
take a 3rd and 6 over a 3rd and 1 if I'm defending any day.
Really? I mean, you just saw what McKinley could do defensively on that 2nd down call.
Yeah.
We'll see how they come out and attack 3rd and goal with 8:02 to go in the 2nd quarter. We'll take a break and come back with that response right after this.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
3rd and goal coming up for the Panthers. 8:02 to go in the first half of play. Sweet Home looking to score on back-to-back drives after Irvin Myrie gave the Panthers the lead on their last effort. 3rd and goal from the 6. The running back Jordan Theodore in shotgun and a flag on the play pre-snap. False start against the Panthers. They'll back him up even more.
Yeah, so this formation they have out there, Jack, has only one eligible receiver. They're switching it up now. They put a bunch of linemen in there. They put 2 extra tight ends. They have 2, I guess what you call them, backs and that are eligible. So probably the reason McKinley knew how to tee off on that run.
Panapinto back from the sidelines. Well, it was 3rd and goal. Now the sticks are back up on the far side. We'll see what that's all about. In motion is Cavanis. Panapinto, ball is out. Scooped up by the Max. Jameer Patrick. Touchdown. As the Panthers on the door for a 2-score lead The Macs strip it out and tie this one up.
It's disastrous for Sweet Home. As you said, Jack, they're knocking on the door. They had a 3rd and 1 on the goal. And a big swing. Good for the McKinley defense. They ran in untouched, pressured Pinapinto, and huge play there. Huge play.
Jameer Patrick entered today's game with 3 forced fumbles and none recovered. This time he's able to scoop it up and take it the distance from the 20 to the end zone, an 80-yard fumble recovery touchdown.
Yeah, the presence of mind from Patrick there to scoop that up and not simply fall on it. He had time. He had his teammates around him. And, under pressure, that's not easy to do. And he not only did he do that, but he had the speed to take it the distance.
Well, the Panthers will take a timeout awaiting the extra point. The Macs will not go for 1. Instead, they'll go for 2 here. Without a true kicker on the roster, perhaps an advantage for the Macs here if they can take the lead, but a disadvantage if they cannot.
Yeah, going back to that Sweet Home possession, they were in that formation where it's a run, right? They had extra linemen in there, and it just had a different vibe to it defensively where McKinley was just sending guys, whereas when they're in their double wing formation, you had at least a threat to pass. I feel like a little more strong for them down there where you have at least a threat for a play action or something where the quarterback can get on the edge or boot pass, something like that respect where McKinley has to respect the pass. Well, they didn't at all, and you could tell as soon as they got in that, the defense had the upper hand.
Well, speaking of respecting the pass, here's Brandon Liggins looking for 2 points here after the touchdown. Direct snap instead to Tyrone Hughes. Rolls his way over a Panther and over the goal line. So the McKinley Macs add 2 after the fumble recovery touchdown. Now a 1-point lead for the visitors.
Big swing in this football game. That's how it goes sometimes.
7:42 to go in the second quarter of play. Sweet Home will have another try after this on Western New York Athletics.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Back from Sweet Home High School on WNY Athletics. Thursday Night Lights here in week number 6, kicking off a weekend full of high school football on our networks. Tomorrow, 2 games, one at Southwestern as the Fredonia Hillbillies will head down in the Southern Tier to take on the Trojans at 7 p.m. And on tape delay at 10 p.m., it'll be Frontier and Jamestown, streaming on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and WNYathletics.com. And then Saturday, our lone feature game on the day, a 2 p.m. matchup between Niagara Wheatfield and Kenmore West. That another matchup in A2. We're sure that those 2 teams are watching. If they're not here tonight, they're watching this live stream now, keeping an eye out on the A2 division. You heard Francis pregame talk about the playoff implications if Sweet Home is to tie with Kenmore West and the other teams in A2. That Sweet Home would have the tiebreaker there for a playoff spot. But it doesn't matter if they don't win this game here tonight. Coach Fata joining me, Jack Cruiser, Tim Gardner, our producer today. We've got Francis Beck down on the sidelines as well. Beautiful night for high school football under the lights here from Amherst and Sweet Home High School. The Macs to kick it away for the first time since, well, this is the first time today. A fumble ended their first drive. A 3-and-out ended their second. Their one score coming on the most recent drive after returning the fumble, 80 yards. It was Jameer Patrick giving the Macs the 6 points off the fumble recovery, and then the 2-point conversion good for Hughes. Coach, do you expect that double wing formation back out there for Sweet Home this drive?
Yeah, I think they're going to mix it up. I don't really have a good handle on their personnel yet. We're going to see if they've had some success with that. I'm not going to spread it out. I expect Coach Zimmer to mix it up and do a little bit of both.
Flag pre-snap.
Kenny Harris doing another. Well, he's just testing it out. Still works, Kenny.
Sometimes you just got to make sure you still got the arm to make it to the line of scrimmage. Panapinto in shotgun. Man in motion is Stephen Butler. Hand off to him. Butler met at the line of scrimmage by 2 Macs. Adunye there first. And it's also Jameer Patrick who lies on the ground now on the near side. He springs back to his feet.
He's still tired from his 80-yard run, maybe.
They can't blame him. First touchdown on the year for the junior. He was on varsity as a freshman back in 2020, Jameer Patrick was.
Jameer's arm's hanging over there, maybe a shoulder. Watching a nice Thursday night, right? Perfect spiral, laid it right in there, accurate pass, and going up to get it. Cavanis.
The Sweet Home offense backs up to the 35 where the flag was, but doesn't matter. Penalties declined in the pass interference call on McKinley. Sweet Home driving now inside the red zone.
It's good to see Sweet Home answer.
It's the biggest play of the day so far. .40-yard gain. 1st and 10 at the 19. Panapinto in shotgun. Hands it off to Theodore. Juking and jiving his way. He'll pick up 1 if that.
Those perimeter defenders from McKinley are just running around the edge. I'm not sure if there's an extra defender coming or there's not blocking back on them, but it just seems like those guys are swooping around the edge every time. And before Theodore can kind of gather himself with the football, he's encountered by 1, 2, 3 defenders.
Jordan Theodore, one of the better players that Coach Jeremy Zimmer has had so far in his coaching career. 5 years at the helm for the Panthers as head coach. Said Theodore is one of the best character kids that he's seen come through the program in 25 years. This time it's a pitch to Irvin Myrie to the 15. Out of bounds.
Yeah, they try to go back to that play they scored on earlier. Not the same effect as the first time around, but got a small gain.
Tyrone Hughes was there to push him out of bounds at the 16-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 7 to go. We've seen just about everything from the Sweet Home offense. The arm of Panapinto, the legs of Irvin Myrie, Jordan Theodore's shiftiness. Let's see what they craft up here. 2 wide receivers on each side. Pinto goes to the end zone, and it's short. Bounced in front of Stephen Butler.
Pinto had his receiver open on a slant. Double slants up top there for Sweet Home. He had his man. He just threw it short.
4th down and long. Well, they've got 2 soccer players as kickers on the roster. Points critical. Instead, they send out Panapinto. We saw McKinley go for it to give Sweet Home the ball on the drive that resulted in a fumble recovery touchdown for the Macs. Ended up working out for the Macs. But this is the first time that the Panthers will go for it on 4th down. 4th and 7. Same formation. 2 wide to each side. Panapinto looks over the middle to Theodore. It's caught. Theodore down to the 12. He looks to be short of the 1st down marker.
Great discipline there. Number 0, Julian Crawford, McKinley is in a man defense, and sometimes it's hard to lose that. It's easy to lose that running back out of the backfield. One of those linebackers have to have man on him, and Julian Crawford did. He stayed disciplined with that, and if it wasn't for him, they might have had a first down or a touchdown. So good for Crawford, staying true to his reads and making sure that he had his man.
Senior leadership from the outside linebacker position changes possessions. The Macs now start with the ball inside their own territory, deep at the 10. Well, you'll take the field position over a score any day of the week. Now 2 timeouts remain for McKinley. Well, they'll have 1 remaining after this as they take a timeout here. We'll take one as well. 5:02 to go in the second quarter. An 8-7 lead for the Macs as they look to build onto it here on Western New York Athletics.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables.
5:02 to go in the half. McKinley deep in their own territory. They start on the ground with a quarterback keeper. That's Brandon Liggins.
Yeah, Wooten stayed home on that read, and I had a Coach Wooten back in the day.
Did you?
I wonder if that's Dad. Yeah.
Herman, the son, a senior now, 6'1", 285, was Coach Wooten as big as his
I'm
son.
getting up there. I might be Grandpa for all.
Second down and about 6 to go here. 4.5 to go in the half. Tyrone Hughes around the outside, breaks free. Tyrone Hughes makes another man miss. Oh my, you can kiss that man goodbye. Tyrone Hughes to the end zone. Touchdown McKinley.
An electric run by Hughes. Thought their left tackle might have got a little grabby there on the defensive end, but no call, and Hughes with a nice cutback and the speed to take it home.
His 13th touchdown on the season. Tyrone Hughes approaches the 1,000 mark with that run. He's got to be near it. I talked to him earlier this week, at practice, and Hughes, when I asked him, well, Ty, what's your main goal for this week? Expecting the typical, go out there and come back with a win. Said, I got to get to my mark. I got to hit 1,000 this week. Well, Tyrone, you're on your way, if not there with that run.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt at all.
Just about 85 yards on that touchdown run. Liggins keeps it for the 2-point conversion, which is good. It'll extend the lead to 16-7 for the McKinley Macs after trailing 7-0. They now go up by 9.
Yeah, Sweet Home is going to look back in this first half and say, wow, if we had a couple plays differently, this game would be swung the other way in its entirety. Just shows you a play here, a play there, just can make all the difference. And that run by Hughes was almost all him, getting around the edge and then the cutback. And if Sweet Home did a couple different things here and there, it'd be a different story. But here they're the 5-0 Macs are out in front and control this game.
Joseph Gonzalez, the free safety for Sweet Home, was there on the touchdown run. He was trying to keep up with him, and then one cutback move from Tyrone Hughes. Well, Gonzalez ran into his own teammate who was also trying to do the same thing.
Right, and Whitehead was giving chase too, but he was obscured by a couple defenders that were taking a caravan to the end zone, right?
Boy, that run from Hughes, we'll be talking about that all weekend. Yeah, when nice. You see an 85-yard run like that, it starts out and you're thinking, all right, he'll probably get a good 10 or 15 here, but that final block gets put on and the one cut.
Yeah, the cut made all the difference and he was gone. Oh, McKinley putting it through the end zone too.
How about that? A kicking game from Sweet Home. Bet you didn't have that on your high school football Thursday night bingo card for this year. 4:01 to go in the half. 16-7. The Macs are on top, looking to remain undefeated in Class A2. After this game, the McKinley Macs will stay on the road next week. They'll go to Hamburg with a meeting with the Bulldogs. And then on our networks in the final week of the regular season, they'll return home for a huge game with the Flames of Williamsville East. More on that later on in tonight's match. 16-7, the Macs lead. Panthers need a response. They've marched inside McKinley territory their previous 2 drives. Rocco Panapinto in shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks right. Throws deep. Tipped. Intercepted. Azaria Dunye makes one man miss. And Adunye flips the script. The Macs take over in offensive territory.
Yeah, tip ball. Good coverage. Bad news. Now you got, before the half here, you have McKinley threatening to go up another score. Sweet Home really has to buckle in here and make sure that McKinley stays out of the end zone.
Double coverage down the far right side. That pass just tipped up and over the intended receiver. And then Azaria Dunye sliding over, gets his 2nd pick on the season. 1st and 10 for the Macs as they look to pour it on Sweet Home.
Watch McKinley here to go up top on a sudden change and try to capitalize on their momentum.
In shotgun, Liggins hands it off. Hughes. Flag darted into the center of the pile. Said pile falls near the 1st down marker. A timeout on the field for the flag. It'll be a hold against the Macs.
Well, that'll help Sweet Home's cause. However, with Hughes there again, you could just tell how electric he is. He could take it any time. I'd be keying on him 100% if I was Sweet Home. He's trouble for them.
Just a sophomore is Tyrone Hughes.
Ouch.
He was on the team as a freshman. He was on the team as an 8th grader.
I believe it.
He only played defense in 2020, that COVID spring year, just a 3-game season for the Macs. But Tyrone Hughes led the team in tackles at middle linebacker. Wow. Last year, he got a chance to be the running back. Over 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns his freshman year. His sophomore season, he's now at 13 scores and over 1,000 yards. Here's Azaria Dunye on 1st and long. He'll pick up some of that penalty yardage back.
Good perimeter defense there by Sweet Home. Well, got some extracurriculars, and let's hope it doesn't deteriorate here.
The officials not allowing anything to get going here after the play. On high alert after last year. This game can't be played without mentioning the way that last year's match ended. A blowout for the Sweet Home Panthers. 53-26 was the final score, though that was not after 4 full quarters were played. The game ended early after some extracurricular activity, as you said, Coach, carried over a bit too long and ended up escalating to the point where the coaches had to call it. And at that point, Jeremy Zimmer said he wished they stopped playing at halftime. They were up by so much at the half that he said this is already getting out of hand. We'll hope that doesn't happen again here today.
Yeah, that's a shame. You know, these guys, sometimes you don't realize when you're young, you only got so much football in you and opportunity to play the game, and to throw away a quarter like that is no good for anybody. Either a year older or a year wiser.
1st and 27 after the penalty after the previous play. We'll back up the Macs. It'll be 2nd down. That's right. The man on the far side then flips the sign.
I'd like to see the Sweet Home safeties back up a little bit here. There's no reason to be at 10 yards.
Liggins looking to go deep. He's chased out of the pocket, stays on his feet. Brandon Liggins finally tackled by Theodore around the 45.
Can they hit the McKinley receivers behind the Sweet Home defense? Good thing for Sweet Home, Liggins was pressured. He got to take his eyes from downfield.
He was looking for Azaria Dunye on the near sideline. The quarterback, wide receiver, running back threat. Can play all over the field. He leads the team in receiving as well. Liggins in shotgun. Drops back to pass. Good protection. Throws deep. Wide open. Adunye can't make the play.
Again, Jack, I don't get it. The safeties were at 8 yards. It's 27 yards to go.
Well, it was the safety, Joseph Gonzalez, who made the play on that one. It'll bring up 4th down and 24.
Dunye he just dropped it. He was behind the defense.
This wide receiver core for McKinley. Nigel McDuffie's got a long catch for 60. Kevin Borden's got a long catch for 90. Azaria Dunye for 60. Daryl Mean for 35. It shows you they don't throw the ball all that much, but when they do, they're looking deep.
Right, that situation dictates the I said it twice, man. It's not carbonic. It bothers me.
Well, it's 16-7 is our score. When in doubt, go to time and score. 2:05 remaining in the first half. 4th and 24 coming up for the Macs, who use their final timeout on the half, and why not? You're up by 9. No 2-minute warning at the high school level in Western New York. Glad you're joining us from wherever you may be. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Our coverage will continue next week from East Aurora, Holland. It'll be at East Aurora, where the Blue Devils will host the Albion Purple Eagles. We'll get to see a pair of brothers for Albion, Coach, that I'm excited to hear your take on next week. That's a big game in Class B, but for now it's a focus on Class A. The McKinley Macs, looking to remain undefeated after a 5-0 start, has them set up in the driver's seat for the division. Brandon Liggins in shotgun, 4th and long, throws it way deep down the sideline, incomplete just before the 10. No flags and a turnover on downs.
And no punt. So now Sweet Home is going to take over in McKinley territory with 2 minutes left here and an opportunity to pull within one score.
It was Shamonte Griffin, the intended target on the play, but 3 Panthers were there to decline that opportunity. Just what the doctors ordered for Sweet Home. They get the ball in offensive territory with 2 minutes to go and 1 timeout if they need it.
Hey, McKinley doesn't punt.
Well, their coach didn't give me a punter at practice, so perhaps they don't, though. It was Kevin Borden who was taking the reps at practice. Rocco Panapinto steps up on 1st down. Scrambles out of the pocket. Panapinto makes something out of nothing on 1st.
Yeah, the clock's still running. Wasn't able to get out of bounds.
A pickup of 4 on 1st down.
Number 15, Shamonte Griffin, with some pressure there. Flush Pinapino. He comes off the edge quickly here, the near defensive end.
2 receivers each side. Low snap. Scooped up by Theodore. He'll make something out of it here. Jordan Theodore bowls over a man at the 25, and then the ball comes out. They rule him down by contact. And the clock has stopped. Jordan Theodore, the awareness of the senior, scooping up the low snap. Regardless what the play was, Theodore scoops it up off the ground and picks up the 1st down for the Panthers.
He finishes his runs too, doesn't he?
Panapinto looking deep down the near side. Whitehead can't make the play. And a bit of celebration from Daryl Mean Jr. in coverage.
Yeah, Whitehead coming back to the ball. He kind of ran through Daryl Mean Jr.
The clock stops with a tick under a minute to go in the half. Sweet Home still holding on to that timeout. 2nd down and 10 at the 26. Boy, for a sophomore quarterback, Panapinto can place that thing.
Yeah, he's shown some accuracy for the most part.
Looking to do it again. Panapinto goes to the same spot. Incomplete again, and again, no flags. Whitehead covered by Mean Jr. Brandon Whitehead now sits and lays down in the end zone with his helmet off. That'll stop the clock.
He shook up.
Injury timeout on the field will take one as well. 50 seconds to go in the first half. Sweet Home looking to come close to tying things up before the break. We'll step aside and rejoin you after this.
With exclusive buyer insights and our 100% money-back guarantee, we're confident we'll find buyers for your home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective pediatric care.
Third down and 10 as we bring you back from break. Panapinto with 50 seconds to go in the half charges forward. He'll keep the clock moving near the 23-yard line. It'll bring up fourth down and long. Sweet Home has a timeout. They're not taking it. The clock ticking at 34 seconds and lower. Looks like they'll bring out the special teams unit. No, Panapinto stays out.
We'll be kicking it.
So it'll be Zach McGowan, the soccer player, to attempt the field goal attempt. This from 41 away. Panapinto, the holder. Kick is up and blocked. Well, that'll stop the clock on a turnover. McKinley will take over. Sweet Home keeps their timeout in their pocket. Coach, how do you not let the clock wind down and take your timeout?
Yeah, it's something you need to practice for sure, and maybe it's not on the short list of a lot of teaching teams to practice those quick field goals and the awareness. And I'll tell you this: it's a lot easier up here than it is down there. I know, I get it, but the getting the different personnel out there to kick, making sure I don't know if they use the block or not. All that has to be practiced, and it's something you certainly don't practice all the time. So
Zach McGowan, the man sent out with the job of kicking a 41-yarder. He wasn't the man who has the extra point. That's Michael Hayter, both soccer players for the Panthers of Sweet Home. That kick, however, no good, keeping us at 16-7. McKinley happy with that block.
He's going to take a knee here, I think.
Brandon Liggins out there. It'll hurt his rushing stats, but that's about it. 2 seconds to go in the half. At halftime, folks, we'll look forward to this weekend on Western New York Athletics. 3 games on our schedule. We'll break those down with Francis Beck. We'll recap the first half of play with Coach Fata. But first, we'll have an interview with the McKinley Max head coach Brian Davis as Francis charges over across midfield to talk to Brian.
Coach, how you doing?
And we'll turn it down to Francis Beck. Francis with Brian Davis.
All right, I'm with Coach Brian Davis of McKinley. You guys are up 16-0. It's easy to say the fumble return for the touchdowns would turn the game, but beyond that, what is going right for you guys right now?
Right now, we just got to execute. We need to start hitting the holes. Our running backs need to start seeing it, seeing the lanes, really. Honestly, our quarterbacks, our running backs, the holes are there. They just got to hit it, basically. That's what it is.
Finally, what's your message? What's going to be your message to your guys here at halftime?
Step it up, execute. Step it up and execute, and just be physical.
All right, thank you, Coach. Jack, Mike, I'll send it back up to you.
Thanks, Franco. 16-7, our score ending the first half of play. We'll be back with a look forward to our network's games after this on WNY Athletics.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. The most important call you can make after an auto accident.
300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere, covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
It's halftime between the Macs and the Panthers. 16-7 the score for McKinley. There you get a look at some of our halftime stats. Not too many offensive bursts for the Sweet Home Panthers. It's been McKinley who has had the bursts so far. Putting them up top was their running back Tyrone Hughes with a large run. And the change point of the game was that fumble recovery touchdown from Jaimir Patrick back in the start of the second quarter. Francis Beck joins us now at halftime, folks. Francis, good to have you with us. Down on the sideline, you make the way up top. Let's talk about half number one. What did you see from the field level?
You know, I saw a Sweet Home team that is close, but, you know, can't quite finish the deal. You know, we saw that on 2 drives. They came close. You know, their defense came with 2 big fourth-down stops, but you mentioned the turnover that Jameer Patrick picked up. And then, you know, they come up short on that last drive with the field goal. But, you know, I see Jordan Theodore, that play on that final drive where he picked up the ball and manages to go 12 yards. That's a field level awareness you don't see. And then after, when his receiver gets hurt, he's the one guy. He goes down the quarter end zone, checks on his teammate. And then when he knows what's going on, he's yelling at the rest of his teammates, get back to the sideline because there's a timeout. So tremendous leadership by him. And it's going to take an effort from him to really get his team back into this game. I think they're losing the line of scrimmage a little bit. This is fairly even. They're not getting dominated, but they are losing a little bit. He's going to need to find a way to find some holes in this one to get his team back in the game.
Well, looking forward, Francis, tomorrow we've got 2 games on our networks. Folks at home, 1 at 7, 1 at 10. Let's take a preview for the game at 7 o'clock. Fredonia at Southwestern, a Southern tier, smaller school game. What can folks expect out of that one?
Big game in Class C South. Last week we saw Southwestern defeat Salamanca 15-10. So if the Trojans win this one, they clinch Class C South. I believe they're the only team that can really clinch their division this week. But they're going to go up against a tough Fredonia team. A couple weeks ago, they lost to that Salamanca team, but they bounced back last week with a big win, I believe, over Silver Creek Forestville. And, you know, if Fredonia wins this game, they would have a very good chance. You go into a tiebreaker situation where possibly if they do win and do well, they could end up with the top seed in Class C South. So still a lot on the line in this one. Very big in C South in this one. So it'll be very important to determine what those C playoffs look like.
From there, well, we can't talk about Southwestern without mentioning the UB quarterback Cole Snyder, who will be playing on Saturday as well. As we mentioned, the former Southwestern quarterback performing post-high school. Also on Friday, Fredonia at Jamestown, a Class A matchup.
Frontier,
apologies.
Or Jamestown at Frontier. I had that backwards on the sheet. That's my fault, Jack. But, yeah, that game is going to be pretty important. We know what Jamestown's been doing all season long, and the key is right now for them to just keep going. They have a big game coming up at the end of the season against Clarence that could very well decide who wins that division. So at this point, it's important for Jamestown and Trey Drake just to keep that offense humming. We know Drake just broke a record last week. So that's what it basically is, keep that offense humming.
And then Saturday, just one game on our slate, a 2 p.m. matchup between Niagara Wheatfield and Kenmore West.
Yeah, this is a non-league battle, so not too much to take from it, but an interesting opportunity for 2 teams. We'll start with Kenmore West. Their fate is almost set. They only have 1 game left against North Tonawanda in league play. They do that. They go to 4-2. Right now, they're just watching. Right now, they got to be pretty happy with this score because they really – remember, keep in mind, they lost to Sweet Home. So if they're in a tiebreaker with Sweet Home, things don't go well for them. So they're hoping for Sweet Home to lose. But they need to take care of business, keep the momentum going. They just got that big upset win over Willie's last week. So for them, it's about keeping the momentum going. For Niagara Wheatfield, you're out of the playoffs, but this is an opportunity. Could Kenmore West be sleeping because it's a non-league game to maybe take advantage of a West team, and for Coach Eric O'Brien in his first year to really jumpstart his program, get it started. So a non-league game, no real rivalry here, but an opportunity in different ways for both of these teams to advance, to improve their programs.
Well, there's an opportunity on the other side of this break for the Sweet Home Panthers to bounce back after trailing 16-7 in the first half of play. We'll take a break and recap that first half with head coach Mike Fata after this, as well as a look and a conversation, Francis, you'll have with Jeremy Zimmer out of the break. We'll step aside, give you a chance to refresh your brain after that info, and we'll come back with a look back at half number 1, a preview to half number 2, and so much more here on Western New York Athletics. Thursday Night Football continues after this.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses, and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Coach, about a minute. I'll take it real quick.
It's halftime between Sweet Home and McKinley. Francis Beck on the sideline with Coach Zimmer. Francis.
You can look at me. Hey, I'm with Coach Jeremy Zimmer. You know, down 16-7. You had a few tough breaks. What was the message to your team at halftime?
Just that we're getting the ball back now, and nobody needs to have their head down. Just to keep going. We're playing well. I think we've done a great job this game, except for about 2 or 3 big plays that just killed us.
You know,
so, I mean, we should have been up 14-0 down to their 1 or 2 yard line, but just a couple big plays. That's the only difference in the half right now.
All right, real quick, Jordan Theodore, great play at the end of that drive. What does that say about him to pick up the ball and get all that yardage?
He's a special player, so we're going to need a lot more from him this half too. So.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Jack, Mike, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Francis. 16-7 our score. The McKinley Max will kick off to start the second half. Boy, that field goal that was attempted with 2 seconds left in the first half would have brought this game within 1 score. Instead, we stay a 2-score game. Coach Fata joining us on the broadcast once again for Thursday night high school football. Coach, your impressions of the Panthers offense in half number 1?
Yeah, Coach Zimmer hit the nail on the head. It's really, it's a matter of a couple plays, but that's the game, right? It's always a matter of a couple plays, and can't get it back. But they're within striking distance. It's a shame that McKinley got the 2-point conversions if you're Sweet Home, because that does make it a 2-score game. But Sweet Home's right there. They get the ball here, and get another opportunity to get themselves right back in it. And there's another whole half of football in front of them.
When I talked to Coach Zimmer this week about that fact that McKinley's not going to kick extra points, you're expecting, if you give up 2 scores, to be in a situation exactly like this. And he said the most important part is just to keep your composure as a coach and not go chasing those lost points.
Yeah, also, I would think he probably put a little extra time into that 2-point defense, too, because those are such big plays.
The return for Lewis will bring, I beg your pardon, that return for Xavier Butler. A decent one will set up the Panthers for 1st and 10 at the 30. We'll see how they come out here offensively. Rocco Panapinto showing what he can do with downfield passes in that first half.
I think it's crucial here that Sweet Home at least flips the field, with a big play, or maybe even if it's a big punt, because it seems that McKinley does not punt. So if they can get the ball on the McKinley side of the field and play that way, for a drive or two and just gain yards through the field possession game, they'd be ahead of the game.
Panapinto in shotgun. Hands it off to Theodore. Protects the football wisely and picks up a couple. Well, we saw what Jordan Theodore could do in that first half. He's got a few yards on the ground for Sweet Home. The touchdown coming from Irvin Myrie on the ground. That one for 35 yards. But Jordan Theodore, we saw as we spoke at halftime with Francis Beck, a big play, scooping it up on 2nd and long on a bobbled snap, scoops it off the turf and takes it for 12 and picks up the first down. The awareness for Jordan Theodore definitely through the roof. This time 2nd and 8. Theodore on Panapinto's right hip. They throw to the near side. Complete to Cameron Melender. Near the first down marker, he's just short.
Yeah, Melender's efforts get him to 3rd and 1.
Well, Brandon Whitehead, the typical receiver on the far side, went down with a head injury ending the first half on that back-to-back play where they went to the end zone for Whitehead. Collided with Darrell Mean Jr. on the second play. Was grabbing his head. He seems to be in concussion protocol now throughout halftime. We'll look to see if he returns. All signs say he will not. Jordan Theodore jumps his way over the first down marker and will move the chains.
Yeah, Theodore there. As I don't know that the Sweet Home line was set. The ball was snapped. The right guard was kind of pointing out who he's going to block, and the ball was snapped. And good thing for Theodore, he had the awareness to kind of squirt through the left side there and get some yards for a first down.
Andre Payne, the starting center, sophomore, 6'4", 370. He is out with an injury today. He will not play. Panapinto hands off inside. Elias Day gets 5 or 6.
If I'm Coach Zimmer, I'm staying in this. They've had consistent success. I know it takes patience, but they need to score, and this seems like a consistent offense for them where they can move the ball and maybe take a shot here and there. But they've had nothing but success in this double wing, and I think it's probably their best bet at this point to stick with it for a little while.
Theodore, Myrie, and Elias Day, the 3 in the backfield. Well, Cameron Melender's straight behind center now. Instead, the pitch to Theodore. Tucks it and runs. Past the 45. He's tripped up right around the line of scrimmage. Short gain, if any.
So that was either a trick play or the lineman pulled the wrong way, because you had the lineman pulling to the left. The ball went to the right. If it is a trick play, they outsmarted themselves. It's more likely maybe the players got the wrong call.
Well, Herman Wooten slides over to the center position, filling in for Andre Payne. Shakes things up on the right side. Aiden Jonda, the junior returner captain, slides inside at guard from his usual tackle position. So some changes could bring differences. 3rd down and 4. Handoff. Theodore, first down and more. Past the 45. Jordan moves the sticks.
Well, they're on the other side of the field. It's a good thing for Sweet Home. 1st and 10 on the 43-yard line. So they've begun to flip the field. Consistent drive here and some points that go a long way for them.
Well, it's been 2 third down conversions on this drive to set them up for 1st and 10 at the 43. Rocco Panapinto throwing the ball just once. He stands in shotgun with Theodore to his right. Man in motion is Myrie. Hand off to him. Irvin Myrie lost the football. Out of bounds, luckily, as it was number 6, Nigel McDuffie, ready to scoop it up.
Nakar Lewis with the stick there. Popped that ball out immediately, and Sweet Home was lucky they're on the sideline because the sideline saved them.
Well, you could tell Myrie had to square up to that hit. Nakar Lewis was looking to pop that ball out. He did just that.
Sure did.
Under 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. 16-7 our score stands. Sweet Home with the first possession of the half, killing plenty of clock as well. They're marching now inside MAC territory. At the 38, it's 2nd and 5. 3 receivers up top.
Yeah, McKinley lighting in their box here. They went to a 2 safety look.
Hand off Theodore, right up the gut. Theodore bounces off a one and picks up the first.
Yeah, McKinley decides to go to a two-deep safety look, and they lighten the run box there, and Sweet Home takes advantage and moves the chains again. Be interesting to see. McKinley's done a good job of switching up their coverages today without really a threat of a consistent pass game. I'm wondering why they're in two safeties, but
it's almost like they're tempting the handoff to Theodore.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
You see the total yardage. Sweet Home dominant. We said at halftime, producer Tim Gardner said this game should be 21-0 Sweet Home. There's a pitch. Theodore cuts up field, gets a couple.
A little speed option there to the near sideline. I think number 0 played that really well, Julian Crawford. One for Crawford there. It could have been a long gainer. Instead, it's a 2nd and 8.
This will be the 10th play of the drive. They've nearly killed off half of the quarter. Down by 2 scores, the Panthers got to punch it in here. Panapinto, pump fakes, looks, end zone. Incomplete. Billy Cavanis, the intended target.
And McKinley in their cover 2. Safety did a good job of getting over the top, which is not easy.
Looked to be Nigel McDuffie in coverage.
Number 6, McDuffie. Yeah, McDuffie got over the top of that number 1 receiver, or the near sideline there is the number 5, Daryl Mean, jumped the flat route.
It'll bring up 3rd down and 8. Panapinto pitches. Theodore met at the line of scrimmage and dropped.
Bertarian all over that. Well, Sweet Home shovel pass. Used to be a staple here.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, when preparing for that shovel pass, I mean, what went so well there for Darian Bird on 3rd and long?
Well, the linebacker did a good job of filling in the gap there. It seemed like he had it, but tackle wasn't able to get the block down on the middle linebacker. He squirted through there and made a great play. Go for another field goal here. Long field goal, Jack.
This one high, up, and just short. 48-yard field goal is short from Zach McGowan.
Just short. I know it wasn't good, but that was impressive.
We've seen our share of ill-advised field goal attempts so far this year, Coach. That one, you can't blame him. Now looking back to the end of the first half, you can't blame Coach for sending out McGowan for an even shorter one. It was 41 at that point.
Yeah, McGowan had a nice look. I mean, a lot of our field goals this year, let's be honest, have not looked like field goals. That was actually a solid attempt, and he was just shy of a 48-yard field goal, which is impressive.
We'll have to check in on the soccer coach to see how McGowan does on the pitch. Though on Thursday, he's able to kick for the Panthers football team. 1st and 10 for the Macs as they take over at their own 20. Boy, shutting down a 12-play drive that killed off 6.5 minutes, Coach. I mean, does that help McKinley at this point?
Well, let's see how this drive goes. Like I said earlier, if they don't punt, I mean, they got a good gun on 1st down there. If they don't punt and they're stuck down here, it does not help them. But I guess possessing the ball at any point is a positive, right? Just a shame. Sweet Home, like Francis said at halftime, they're right there. They're just not there yet.
Near side, massive hole for the running back, Lewis. Bulls over a man at the 40. Nakar Lewis flips the field.
You know, the ball came out, Jack. I don't know if the referee's in a position to make the call.
Jordan Theodore, the man that came away with it, looks up from the turf. You like to trust Theodore's judgment, but they keep possession with the Macs.
Yeah, I wish I was in a better position to see that. I think McKinley might have got away with one there.
A pitch to Hughes. Up the right side, big block from Carr. Hughes has the first down and more. Tyrone Hughes to the 25.
Another strong effort by Hughes. The stiff arm on 22 for Sweet Home. Marcel Aiden. Sorry, Aiden Marcel. It's going to come back, though, Jack.
Boy, Nakar Lewis had 2 massive blocks on that previous play. But instead of holding call, we'll back him up deep.
Yeah, those holding calls just bury you, huh?
This one not as detrimental as some we've seen this year. 1st and 20 will be the resulting play right at midfield at the 50. It's a beautiful night in Western New York for Thursday night lights. 64 degrees, clear skies. Adunye throws as a flag flies on the near sideline, nearly intercepted. It falls incomplete, but flag down at the start of the play, and it looks to be coming back again against McKinley.
Illegal shift in the running back. He just started walking towards the line of scrimmage before the snap was started.
It was Lewis who was in the backfield. Boy, what a roller coaster of a drive for Nakar Lewis. He picks up the first down in offensive territory and sets up 1st and 10 at the 40. He's got 2 massive blocks on the preceding play, and now here he takes a penalty to back him up to 1st and 25 from their own 45.
He's almost right back where he started before that long run.
We'll see if they give him a chance to make it up again. Just pad those stats a bit more in a game like this. Just a 2-score game, 16-7. McKinley looking for their 2nd all-time win over the Panthers of Sweet Home, a rivalry that goes back to 2010. It didn't start as a rivalry, though. The way that the games have been played in most recent years, it's become one. Well, they give Lewis the opportunity to get his yardage back, though he is met for a loss of another 6 yards.
Yeah, Sweet Home came down. This is a 3-back formation swing. So Sweet Home came down about the 8th man in the box, and they forced that run back. And good job by Sweet Home staying home on the backside to force another big loss.
2nd and 32.
The Panther 30-yard line is the yard to gain.
At this point, though, you would think Sweet Home are making me nervous with those safeties, right?
The safety's playing just 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. Tyrone Hughes gets the handoff. Flag is down at the line of scrimmage. Hughes stays on his feet. The pile pushes him back. Look out. Always get worrisome of injuries when the pile keeps pushing like that.
Hughes is just having fun out there, isn't it?
Well, I beg your pardon. It looks like there was not a flag. No, there was. There it is, holding against the Mex. That'll back him up further.
Well, all that fluorescent out there tonight. I don't know. It's fluorescent night at, well, Sweet Home and McKinley has some fluorescent going on. I mean, is that a new trend I don't know about?
Well, it's the month of October, Coach Fata, so Breast Cancer Awareness Month I know is typically the month of October throughout the football world, wearing the pink for awareness of that disease, though I know the NFL at least has changed it to represent all cancers in the month of November. So they're not wearing it in the pro level yet. High school level looks to stick to October and the pink for breast cancer awareness.
The pink I'm hip to. I don't know the blue and the orange, and maybe that's a different.
It's a conversation for another day because we could
have to Google that.
2nd down and 37. Are you in 4-down territory?
I think they always are, McKinley, right?
Adunye drops back in the pocket, and he's wrapped up. Now he escapes to the near side. Plenty of green in front of him. The athlete's going to run it himself. He breaks another tackle and gets pushed out past the 40. A gain of about 6 on the play that Adunye had to run a mile for.
Tell you what, little things that go unnoticed. Number 33 for Sweet Home did a great job of staying to the outside. He could have ducked inside. He could have played that kind of unstructured situation incorrectly and ducked inside and gave up the sideline, but he did not. You could tell he's well coached by Coach Zimmer. He kept it, pushed it inside, and something that could have been a big, huge play for McKinley wasn't.
Well, we could have had second and even longer there, but Coach Zimmer allows the 6-yard gain. It says enough of this noise. I'm going to take third down and long here.
Yeah, enough's enough, huh?
3rd and 28. May as well decline that call.
I don't have a number 33 on the roster here.
Adunier flips it over to Hughes. Carrying the ball like a loaf of bread. Hughes is wrapped up at the 40. A loss of 2.
Could this be a punt team I see coming on? Maybe.
We saw him practicing at practice, the punt, and it looks to be Ronnie White, the junior, to boot it away. 4th and 30. At this point, Coach, why not send out Brandon Liggins and take a deep shot? Little arm punt action.
That's what they did earlier.
But it will be Ronnie White to kick it away. Our first look at the punt return team for the Panthers. Theodore is back deep to receive. Just able to get it off as Ronnie White. It'll bounce a few times to the 32-yard line and be downed right there. The Panthers offense will get the ball back with under a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Down by 2 scores. Sweet Home needs a response here after this on Western New York Athletics.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Back from break, Panapinto throws to Theodore for the first down.
Yeah, the running back out there in empty formation with a post. That play actually beat us the last time we played Sweet Home, Jack.
When was that?
I don't know, but I'm trying to forget. I remember the play, and I remember losing on it.
That wasn't back at Ralph Wilson Stadium, was it?
No, that was at home.
First down, Panapinto. Held by the jersey, finally taken down as Rayshawn Riley gets in for the sack.
Sweet Home mixing it up now.
Well, Coach, for all the talk of young quarterbacks throughout Western New York, we've got the younger Kleitz at Iroquois, a freshman who's starting there. You've got Joe Mest in Olean. His sophomore, Rocco Panapinto, seems to stand out amongst the rest of young quarterbacks, even that we've seen so far on Thursday nights.
Yeah, he's a taller quarterback. He's got a great arm. And as you see there, an accurate throw. It's been accurate pretty much all night. That was into coverage, but he put it in the chest.
Irvin Myrie, the intended receiver.
And Myrie kind of wishes he had that back, but as far as Panapinto, he's been accurate and he's been hanging in there against pressure. You know, as a sophomore, he's 6'1" now. He's probably going to be 6'4" by the time he's done.
Smart in the classroom as well. His quarterback coach Jim Kubiak got some extra work with him earlier this week. Panapinto in a must-win situation here for Sweet Home as we tick down the final 3 seconds of the third quarter after this play. Panapinto in shotgun, 3rd and long, hands it off, up the middle. Theodore follows his block across the 50, where he is taken down by the Max linebackers. That brings us to the end of the third quarter. We were where we were at the half, 16-7. We'll throw down to Francis Beck on the sideline. Francis.
All right, Jack, Mike, you know, we're going to 3 weeks from today, we'll mark a very important anniversary for Sweet Home coach Jeremy Zimmer. On October 27th of last year, Zimmer suffered a stroke, actually his first of 2 strokes over this offseason. It happened, he was coming home from a doctor's appointment, pulled over, noticed he was having a stroke. By some sort of fate, his old buddy, Matt McKenna, athletic director at Niagara Wakefield, was driving past him, pulled over, saw someone was pulled over on the side of the road and went to help, then realized it was Jeremy Zimmer. The two had taught together phys ed over the past 2 years in the past. But Coach Zimmer, suffered 2 strokes. He suffered another one in January, but he worked hard for rehab. He came back to work in April, and if you've probably seen him today, he looks 100% fine. Testament to him, and I know that's inspiring this Sweet Home team this season. Jack, Mike, I'll send it back to you.
Boy, oh boy, a sign of fate in the universe conspiring to help out Jeremy Zimmer. What a wild story that is.
Yeah, Zim's one of the good guys in the game, and it's great to see him out there. And he's a lot tougher than I was. Came back immediately. I don't know if I could had the fortitude to come back like he did right away, and it's good to see him out there.
Sweet Home looks to come back on 4th and 5. Panapinto picks up a flag on the play. We'll see who that one's against, though Panapinto was taken down well behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be against Sweet Home. You have to imagine that'll be declined, and it will. The McKinley Max will take over with 11:52 to go in regulation play, up 2 scores.
I wasn't down there, Jack, but I think the McKinley coaches got their team fired up there the third quarter intermission, because those guys came out they were shot out of a cannon and that down, and I'm sure the coaches had something to do with that, because you haven't seen those kids come off the ball like that since the first quarter.
Brian Davis, Shaq Dudley, Nate Burnett, Anthony Adams, the coaching staff for the McKinley Max. Shaq Dudley, the D coordinator.
Yeah, those guys have done a good job the past 5 years. Those 4 or 5 years they've been there. Yeah, those guys done a good job turning this program into one of the best in the section.
First down and 10 for McKinley in offensive territory. Hand off to Hughes. Up the left side, he'll pick up 1, if any. Defensively, it was number 15, Nakir Kirkland.
A little buck sweep out of McKinley there. The 2 guards pulling around the left end, but Sweet Home stretched it out and played it well. A lot of numbers at the perimeter there on that play, but Sweet Home did a good job of supporting the run on the outside with the linebackers and defensive backs, and brings up a 2nd and long.
Coach, I don't know what a buck sweep is. What are you talking about there?
2 guards pulling around the end. They pin the end, and there it is again.
Up the middle, Hughes gets a couple. So that's the right side guards pulling?
Both guards pulling around in the same direction. At that time, it was this way. Did the old same play other way. Must see something there in the Sweet Home defense, but Sweet Home standing tough, and they're got a 3rd down here. And both teams battling all night. It's been a pretty even game. I know it's a 2-score game, but
3rd down and long. Adunye jukes his way to the left. Wrapped up there by Theodore and thrown out.
Feels like 2 evenly matched teams, right? Just a couple plays. What sticks in my head is Francis saying that Sweet Home's almost there, and they are. They're not there yet with McKinley. Not that they can't pull this out. The better team doesn't always win, but it seems like Sweet Home's right there. They just need somebody to make a play and turn this thing around.
Here you see Sweet Home has dominated in terms of yardage. That big 80-yard fumble recovery touchdown was the difference so far for the McKinley Max. But a turnover on downs will give Sweet Home the ball. They need a response here. Their final home game this season. The Max defense returns to the sideline to jeers.
Cheers, you don't say.
Cheers, I beg your pardon. Well, the McKinley fans definitely are cheering after that one. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. It's a Panther down with his helmet on the turf. That'll stop the clock and give an injury timeout on the field.
Yeah, two-score game here with the ball. This is crucial that Sweet Home executes and gets some points out of this drive, even if it's a field goal. They've shown that they're adept in kicking field goals, at least anything under 48 yards. But
well, even 46 would be good. We saw earlier that kick from McGowan, just a bit shy.
But in a 9-point game, that'll do it, right? So they need something here. If it's at least 3, something to pull it into one possession because they're running out of time.
4 other games across Western New York tonight as the typical right tackle, Aiden Jonda, comes off the field with that injury. Jonda now on the sideline. That'll completely deplete the right side of the offensive line now with Wooten playing center. On the right hash, 1st and 10 at the 36. Panapinto looks to throw down the right side. It is caught, but out of bounds. Stephen Butler was able to make the play, though his feet land on the white.
Yeah, Butler didn't give himself enough room on that sideline. He didn't really run that deeper route. You want to give yourself about 5 yards to play with on the sideline there, and he must have lost track of that because he came down with it, but he was out of bounds.
2nd down and 10. We've seen the arm strength from Panapinto set up the first score for Sweet Home that had them up 7-0 in the second quarter. McKinley was able to score after an 80-yard fumble recovery. Boy, what a change that was. Sweet Home was looking to go up 2 scores on McKinley.
Yeah,
fumble recovery, 80 yards the other way, ties it. McKinley takes a 1-point lead after the 2-point conversion, and then Sweet Home 3 and out. Tyrone Hughes had a big run the other way to give the Macs the lead.
I don't know if they have it, Jack, but I would love to see a screen here with that fast, aggressive front that McKinley has coming after the quarterback. I think if they have it and have confidence in it, Jordan Theodore, I know I never get my way, but that's what I would be thinking.
3rd down and 7. Over the middle, complete. Zion Lee with Green in front of him. Deuces. Lee to the house.
Or a snag play for a touchdown. That would be the other thing I'd call.
Zion Lee gets his 2nd touchdown on the season.
Electric. Well, we have a game.
You could say that again. A 3-point game awaiting the extra point. They will likely go for 2 here.
Now with the field goal team, I would kick. Let's see what they do.
Well, Michael Haitner was out there. Now he comes back out. Yeah, that was Nakir Kirkland who was looking to go for 2. Number 15 runs off the screen as Haitner steps out for the extra point.
Yeah, I don't think it would make a lot of sense to go for 2 there. They did attempt the kick, but it was blocked.
Haitner didn't even get a run-up on that extra point. He was 2 yards away and just stepped in and kicked. I haven't seen that in a long time. Regardless, a 3-point ball game. 16-13 with 9:05 to go in the 4th.
It's a game. That extra point would have been crucial, though. Well, I guess if you can't get an extra point, maybe you can't get a field goal. But, hey, we got a game. 1-score game. It's what we wanted.
It's exactly what we wanted. It's what Sweet Home wanted as well. Looking to remain alive in the playoff push in their final home game of the regular season. Plenty of seniors across the offense, though it's the junior, Zion Lee, who makes the play on 3rd and long. Not only getting the 7 yards necessary, but then another 55 for a 62-yard touchdown catch and run. You know, Coach Zimmer told us that Zion Lee is super athletic, but he's too raw. He said he needs to refine his route running a bit. Well, I think that route was pretty well run, Coach.
That was a great concept you had. I was thinking screen, but what they did show It was a flare out of the running back and then a slant over the top. He sucked up that, I think, don't remember the coverage, but it did suck up some coverage, and it gave that lane for Zion Lee to break it. He almost celebrated too early. Did you catch that?
He did.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have a blunder there, but he
Don
did.
Beebe moment, perhaps?
Well, I don't know. He looked like he was celebrating on the 5-yard line.
This kick, a deep one, bobbled and down. What a massive call as Daryl Mean hits the turf at his own 10-yard line.
Well, the momentum has swung.
Daryl Mean couldn't wait to get off the line and take that one, though. The kick from Sweet Home Zach McGowan just hung in the air a bit too long. Mean bobbled it, touched the knee to the ground, and in high school you don't need anyone to touch you. You're down by contact and by your knee contacting the ground.
He was anxious to make a play there, which, I get it. A little too anxious, and he fell down, and now the ball's on the 10-yard line, and McKinley needs one of their big guys to flip the field here.
1st and 10 from the 10. McKinley has so much big play ability. Kevin Borden, 6'6", out wide. He's at the bottom of your screen. Instead, it's a flip to Adunye, and Adunye gets dropped after a 4-yard gain.
That play was telegraphed, and the safety came down Phil. That was still a 5-yard gain, Jack. So moving kind of ahead of schedule there, 2nd and 5.
Injury timeout on the field as a Panther looks to just get stretched for a hammy. 2nd down and 5 coming up. 8:43 to go in regulation play. A 3-point lead for the Macs. There you see the speed from Adunye in that previous play. Quarterback has since, from the first drive, moved to that slot receiver position where he leads the Macs in reception so far this season, but he can get it done everywhere.
Yeah, someone to key on for sure if you're Sweet Home.
Not that time, though. 8:43 to go in the 4th. We'll take a break and come back after this on WNY Athletics.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
That's it. That's our goal. We're back. 8:43 to go in the 4th quarter. The McKinley Macs goal is to pick up a 1st down. 2nd and 5 at the 15. Handoff inside. Hughes follows his block to the 20 and past it, continuing to churn the legs. Hughes gets past the 25, and he's down at the 27.
Yeah, Hughes is a tough runner, and Sweet Home's defense kind of just, there was a split action in the backfield that kind of opened up the middle of that defense, and I thought he was going to get more than that. They closed, but they better be careful because, as we saw earlier, Hughes can take it to the house from anywhere.
1st down and 10 from the 27. The Macs can kill as much time as they want here, and they continue to run the ball with Lewis. Lewis escapes one tackle and falls just shy of the 1st down marker past the 35.
I think you're going to see McKinley here keep it on the ground, run some clock, get some 1st downs.
Well, this one will come back, however, a holding call against the Macs as Sweet Home's fans get into it on senior night.
As we said earlier, those are killers. Had a bunch of holding calls tonight, actually.
Perhaps, both teams run the ball well. Both teams' running backs cut rather often near the line of scrimmage. Could be a reason for the linemen holding on for a little longer. 1st and 19 coming up for the Macs in their own territory back at the 18. In shotgun is Brandon Liggins. Pressure coming, and down he goes. Makir Kirkland down at the 10-yard line.
You know, he was looking near side, and everything was covered down. Great job by Sweet Home. It appeared they're in like a cover 2 defense where that's not easy to throw on if it's played right. Everyone seemed covered. I'm sure that's what quarterback saw. And another big play. They're way behind the chains now. Again, the Sweet Home momentum is just rolling.
This is back-to-back drives that we've seen 2nd down and 20-plus for McKinley. Pass complete to Adunye. Over the middle, he's taken down. 2 Panthers combined for the tackle.
That's okay. It's exactly what Sweet Home wanted. Now there's the 3rd and very long.
Hakeem Williams makes the play, bringing up 3rd and a distance. Worthy of mentioning.
Let's see those safeties a little deeper. Did I mention that tonight?
3rd and 17. Oh. This one through the hands of the target, Darryl Mean Jr. Perhaps if the safety was deeper in coverage, that one is going the other way. Instead, it brings up 4th and 17.
Well, we're going to have a heck of a finish here, Jack, with the Sweet Home getting the ball back. There's going to be about 5 minutes left. It's a typical Thursday night for us.
No big deal. We appreciate you joining us here on Western New York Athletics, set for a fantastic finale. In Week 6, we got 2 more weeks of regular season football, that is. Next week, Albion at East Aurora Holland, and Week 8. We'll get the Max again, instead at All-High Stadium. In a battle for first place in the division, McKinley and Williamsville East will square off from Robert Rich All-High Stadium 2 weeks from today. Timeout called by the McKinley Max before their 4th and 17 play. 16-13.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
4th and 17 for the McKinley Max, lined up to punt with Ronnie White. He's done it 2 times so far today. This snap high. White drops it and boots it down. To return, Theodore takes it off 1 hop. Theodore just gets tripped up at the 45.
Gutsy play there by Theodore, but sometimes those gutsy plays pay off, and he was 1 arm away from a big play there.
The Panthers will take it. 1st and 10 inside offensive territory at the 43. The Panthers need a win today to stay alive in the playoff race in Class A. In the A2 division, they're 2-2 on the season. The McKinley Max, 3-0 in conference play, 5-0 overall. McKinley currently number 1 in the playoff picture. A stop here would nearly solidify that, at least for another week. 1st and 10. Handoff inside, met by the Max, as it was Elias Day on the carry.
Sweet Home probably figures, you know what, there's 5 minutes left in the game. We're going to maybe use it all, ideally. Come out in their double wing package, and not a lot on 1st down, but I guess if I'm them, I want to be the last one with the ball.
It was Jaden Sanders and Rayshawn Riley combining for the tackle after a pickup of 1 on 1st down for Elias Day. 2nd down and 9. Under 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Sweet Home scored on their last drive thanks to a Zion Lee touchdown that went for 60+. Jordan Theodore follows his blocks up to the 40.
A 3rd and longish here. I think you're probably going to see their spread package come out. Yep, they're changing personnel. You got to figure it's 2 downs here, Jack, right?
At this point, 4.5 to go. Down by just 3, unless you get it close enough where you think you can hit another field goal. They've attempted 2. one blocked at the line. The other fell about a foot short from 46.
Yeah, I think if they're in that range, though, they're probably at first down territory here. I don't know if they're there yet.
3rd down and 7 at the 40. Shotgun Panapinto throws over the middle. Tipped, fighting for it. Who's got the football? It's either a catch or a turnover. They stop the clock as the fighting continues for the ball. Zion Lee was the intended target. Daryl Mean was in coverage. The Macs say it's their ball. The Panthers say it's theirs. And Zion Lee will get credit for the catch and a first down, Panthers.
So same play they scored on, that snag concept, with Zion Lee coming on the slant. And then tie goes to the offense, as they say. Another big play. If it worked the first time, why not use it on a 3rd and crucial?
Boy, you can thank Daryl Mean for hauling that ball in, because Zion Lee had one arm on it, and Daryl Mean caught that football. Lee able to snag it out of the arms of the sophomore corner. 1st and 10 at the 31. Hand off to Theodore. Again, a good burst from the shotgun position. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. Shamonte Griffin in the backfield to make the play right at the 30.
Time's still really not a factor.
Sweet Home, all 3 timeouts remain as well. There you see the total yardage. Sweet Home has dominated this game. Football, not the fairest thing in the world. Neither is life, they tell me. 311 to 179, the total yardage. They feel they should be up in this game. Panapinto, pressure coming, steps up, and he gets rocked. Burt was there along with Jameer Patrick. What a game for number 24 in white.
Yeah, Panapinto, a tough kid. He popped up. He got whacked. Lost a couple there, so again, you got to think they're in 2-down territory, which leaves it open for a draw or screen here, something that would get them half of this.
Timeout called by Sweet Home, 2:24 to go here in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 14 coming up here, Coach. Sweet Home calls their first timeout at this point. What are we thinking in the huddle that you see on your screen here?
Yeah, I don't know the playbook, but again, I see number 15 for McKinley, Shamonte Griffin, getting off the ball every down. Just, he's hard to block off the edge there. I would, use that against them and maybe throw a screen over there. Or, they might have went to the well too many times on that snag play. I know they scored and they got a crucial 3rd down on it. But again, they scored on a reverse, right? I don't know. I guess it's oversimplified. Whatever your best play is at this point, because the game's on the line.
This season as well, if Sweet Home loses, it's all but impossible for them to make the postseason. Panapinto takes the shotgun snap. Pressure coming. Screen pass to Theodore on the near side. He can't get back to the line of scrimmage, though a flag flies as Burt made the play.
Shows you what I know. The screen didn't work.
Well, perhaps McKinley was thinking the same thing. Darian Burt, I beg your pardon, was there. Officials have a chat along the near side to see what the call is. Just a sideline warning on Sweet Home. And also a personal foul on a hit to the head against Darian Burt and the McKinley Macs.
Ouch.
That'll give a first down to Sweet Home.
That's a tough call and a tough part of the game.
Burt can't believe it. He's looking at the official saying, is that on me?
Ugh. Yeah, I didn't see it enough to have an opinion, Jack, but that's a tough call and a crucial part of the game.
Jeremy Zimmer said his team's biggest opponent is themselves. It's the mental side of the game for the Sweet Home Panthers that have caught them lacking in games prior to this. They've earned themselves a first down here at the 21-yard line. Under 2 minutes to go in regulation time. Down by 3. In motion is Myrie. He scored like this in the second. This time, it's a hefty loss and another flag at the end of the play. Right in front of the McKinley bench. That play ended in a bit of a skirmish, though broken up rather quickly.
And a big loss there for Sweet Home. Personal foul face mask. And Sweet Home's getting some help here. McKinley killing themselves with penalties. So instead of a 2nd and 20, they're going to look at a 1st and 10 from probably about the 10-yard line.
Now, when does time become a factor the other way, Coach? 1:44 to go.
I'd say after a down or 2 here, you're going to start thinking twice about running the ball. Sweet Home does have all 3 timeouts. Maybe that's not true, but your play calls are going to get affected at some point.
Safely in field goal range are the Panthers. 2nd down and 5. Panapinto hands off to Theodore. He is hit hard in the hole at the 15. Fights for a couple extra. Able to push through Rayshawn Riley. Down to the 14-yard line.
Well, it wasn't enough for a first down, so you're going to 3rd and 5, actually.
3rd down, here we go.
2 receivers each side. Panapinto looks left, throws to the end zone. Incomplete. Zion Lee nearly had his 2nd touchdown on the day.
Yeah, Zion jumped. I don't know if he had to jump. He was open. It ended up hitting him right in the breadbasket.
Zion Lee walking back to the huddle with a chest tap.
So close.
He thinks he should have had that one.
Well, Sweet Home got all the help in the world getting here from miscues on the Max side.
4th down and 5 to go for the home Panthers. They've got 2 new players on their offensive line on the right side.
We should get a timeout here for Sweet Home as they're running out of.
They're sending out their kicking unit. Zach McGowan, number 50. On the right of your screen. He wanted to walk out there for the field goal attempt, though a timeout, they'll talk about it. Coach, are you kicking a field goal here?
Well, the only thing that concerns me is they've had, I think, 3 blocked between a field goal and the 2 of the extra
2
points?
field goals, 1 of the extra points.
Yeah, 2 field goals and an extra point. So that's what I would be coaching my guys up to make sure that they're sound in their protection. We know that he has the leg. The question is, can they protect it?
They're straightaway center as well. No worry about having to angle this one in on either of the hashes. Looks like the Macs call a timeout now in response after seeing the kicking unit come out for Sweet Home. So crucial. 4th and 5, down by 3. The Sweet Home Panthers. Under Jeremy Zimmer in his 5th season coaching this year. They started the season out with back-to-back wins against Kenmore West and North Tonawanda. The last 3 games, all losses, 1 non-conference to Orchard Park. A heartbreaker in high-scoring fashion right here against Williamsville East in Week 4. They lose at Hamburg last week and return here today with playoff hopes nearing the end of the line if they can't pull out a victory here today.
You see Coach Falks there talking to the guys up front. Coach Falks is the best around. He talking to his guys up front there, giving some last-minute advice and coaching how to protect this. Hope they listen to him.
Zach McGowan missed just short on a 46-yarder earlier. This will be from 32. Straightaway setter. The senior on the soccer team steps into it. And the kick is good. We're tied at 16.
So if we have any influence on this, Jack, I was thinking to myself, he's going to make this because it's another overtime game, potentially.
This would be our third overtime game of Thursday Night Football this year.
That's what we do here on Thursdays.
We give you more bang for your buck here on Thursday nights on Western New York Athletics. No better place for Thursday night high school football than Western New York Athletics. 1:01 to go in the fourth quarter. We're all tied at 16.
If only they protected one of those extra points, right? We'd be having a different vibe out here, but it's exciting.
Well, how about the Sweet Home defense here in half number 2? You can talk about the penalties all you want. 16 points allowed in the first half, none so far with a minute to go in the fourth.
Right. And then time after time they have pushed McKinley backwards with all the weapons McKinley has. That is impressive. Well, they have a minute to defend here as well. Let's not forget about that.
The last 2 times the Macs had the ball offensively, they found themselves in 3rd and 20-plus positions. All momentum with the home team. Ball just bounces past Mean Jr. into the end zone thanks to McGowan's boot after kicking it through the uprights from 32. He sends it into the end zone for a touchback.
The Sweet Home will be defending a situation here where end of the game, a minute left. It'll be interesting to see how McKinley attacks that, knowing Sweet Home has a kicker. Depending on how confident McKinley is and what they can do, they might want to be conservative here as well.
Just one touchdown given up to this Max offensive unit so far today. It was an 80-yard fumble recovery on the defensive side of the ball for the Max back in quarter number 2 for Jamir Patrick. Offensively, just one touchdown to Tyrone Hughes. Hughes out of the backfield. A throw to the near side caught by Nakir Lewis. Nakar Lewis tripped up over the 25. A decent gain on first down. The Macs will take one of their 2 remaining timeouts.
I like the call from McKinley there. That, a nice safe pass, but a potential to break it with all the athletes they have.
52 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 4 coming up from the 26-yard line. McKinley, we know they've got explosive play ability. Their offense led by Brandon Liggins, the junior quarterback who has been under center since the first quarter after not starting the first drive. Azaria Dunye started then. He is the leading wide receiver. Him and Kevin Borden out wide. The 2 best receivers on the sidelines, Nigel McDuffie and Nakar Lewis in the slot. Empty backfield for Liggins. 5 receivers. Pressure coming. Liggins steps up, throws on the run. Wide open is Lewis, and he falls. That was Kevin Borden, who had nothing but green grass in front of him.
Yeah, Borden had to adjust on that throw. He ended up being in the area, but I think Borden had to adjust a little bit to even get there, and that kind of threw him off balance. So, tell you what, Sweet Home came with pressure there. They sent one more than Sweet Home sent one more than McKinley could block.
It brings up 3rd down. 3rd and 4. It's the most manageable 3rd down that the Macs have had this half. Liggins under shotgun. Looks left, throws left, deep, incomplete. It falls out of bounds. 4th down and 5. 39 seconds still to play. We haven't seen McKinley convert a 4th down today.
So if you're McKinley, you have to punt, right? If they don't convert here, you're giving Sweet Home a free field goal attempt, and we know he has a leg.
He just hit one to tie it from 32. So the Macs want to talk about it.
I don't blame them.
16-16. Let's take you back, folks, in the first quarter of play. The first drive of the game for the Macs shut down. The Panthers took over. They were driving with a chance to go up 6. They do. It was a touchdown run from number 17. I beg your pardon, it was number 12, Irvin Myrie, with a 40-yard touchdown rush to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. After that, a 3-and-out for McKinley brought the Sweet Home offense back out to the field. A fumble recovery for 80 yards and a touchdown from Jamir Patrick gave the Macs a 1-point lead after the 2-point conversion. A run for Tyrone Hughes expanded upon that lead. A touchdown and a 2-point conversion combined with a field goal for Sweet Home tied it up at 16. Now Ronnie White will punt it away. Pressure coming. White just gets it off in time. Theodore will let this one roll all the way back to the 30-yard line. 35 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. The Sweet Home Panthers, with playoff hopes on the line, have an opportunity to win it with 28 seconds to go. Rocco Panapinto, the sophomore quarterback, has 2 wins under his belt so far this season. They were the first 2 games of the year. Jeremy Zimmer, after health conditions this offseason, back alive on the sidelines. Jeremy Zimmer with his coaching staff trying to do everything but will his team to victory here today. 28 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. A 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Coach Mike Fata. This Panthers offense has been moving on their last couple drives. What do they got to keep moving here?
The clock, I think, right? I'd get out of this situation and play overtime, which I think we're going to see them do. Maybe getting their double wing, and McKinley has any timeouts left, do they? So I'd expect that. I don't expect them to do anything differently, but who knows?
Panapinto's under center, and he just takes a knee.
Yeah.
Folks, we are headed to overtime for a 3rd time this year on Thursday Night Football on WNY Athletics. We've got extra action. This one more crucial than those before today. 16-16 our score after 4 quarters. Sweet Home with a victory stays alive in the playoff race. The McKinley Macs, their undefeated season on the line in overtime. We'll step aside and come back for extra action on Western New York Athletics right after this.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
I love being home.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
I love being home.
We're back on Western New York Athletics. 16-16 is the score entering overtime. Coach Fata joins me, Jack Cruiser, Tim Gardner, our producer, Francis Beck down on the sidelines today. We're glad to have you with us for extra football from Western New York Athletics as you get a good look at the turf job at center midfield. There's a nice shot of the Sweet Home sideline as we'll have a coin toss here before overtime to determine who will score first. If this is your first high school football overtime experience in Western New York, well, we're glad to have you with us. Let's tell you how it works. Both teams will have an offensive possession, college style, from the 20-yard line. If they score, the opposition will get a chance to respond. Field goals do not win the ball game. After one set of offense for each team, we'll tell you what happens after that, if we get there. Captains meet.
Overtime, you get the option. Whoever wins can go on offense or defense. You can choose the end of the field you would like to go on. There's only one timeout each. All right, timeouts do not carry over. Both teams will get an opportunity to play offense. Okay, you're the visitor. You get to call it. Heads or tails? Tails. You call tails. Tails has been called. Let's see what we got here. Tails. You have one to toss. Offense or defense? Defense. You got to go on defense. Which goal you want to play at?
We would like to go. We would like to.
You want to defend? You want to defend
this side?
You want to defend this goal?
Yes, sir.
Okay, put your backs over there. I have one to toss and have elected to go on defense. Sweet Home, your ball down here. All right, your ball down. Your ball. Your ball.
The Sweet Home Panthers will start on offense for our overtime period number one. The Macs were up 16-6, or 16-7 that was, at the break at halftime. Since the half, it's been all Sweet Home. No scoring for McKinley, and Sweet Home with a touchdown, a two-point conversion, and a field goal is what has them here. Well, it's a two-point conversion that failed. That's why we were at 16-13. 16-16 thanks to the 32-yard field goal from McGowan. Well, this is our third overtime experience here on Thursday Night Football. Coach Fata, what are your impressions on the first two overtime experiences? We had week one, Lakeshore and Dunkirk head to extra play, where the Lakeshore Eagles were able to pull that one out. And then just last week, Burgard was able to win their game in overtime.
I feel like penalties played a role in both. Although week one, I don't know, that's a lifetime ago, right?
The Sweet Home Panthers, who have dominated total yardage so far in regulation play.
Fans into it, Jack. It looks like construction worker night down there.
I believe it's neon night, Coach.
Maybe that's it.
There you go. Neon colors up and down
they're
the
all
student
dressed as
section.
construction workers.
A handoff along the near side. Irvin Myrie able to pick up a couple.
Well, Coach Zimmer going right back to what's worked today. That broke for a touchdown earlier, the little reverse. But McKinley's there to answer.
Do you think you just play the hits at this point in overtime and we'll see the route we saw from Zion Lee that scored the second touchdown for Sweet Home?
Yeah, you'll maybe see all the best, the best of the best. I mean, why not, right?
Overtime, what are you saving anything for? And if you're Sweet Home, this could be your season. If you don't win in overtime here today, you're basically out of the playoffs. Second and 10. Yeah, second and 11. Loss of one on the first down play. Rocco Panapinto, the sophomore quarterback. He won his first two games this year with Sweet Home. They've lost their last 3. Panapinto takes the snap and hands it off to the senior Theodore. He is met just past the 20-yard line by 3 Macs, including Julian Crawford.
Yeah, Julian Crawford's impressed me tonight, both versus the run and the pass. He didn't even flinch there. He knew where he was going. He came downhill and made that play instantly.
The senior returner playing like a veteran in overtime. Now 3rd down and long. 3rd and 9. Jordan Theodore in the backfield. 2 receivers each side. Panapinto in shotgun, takes the snap. Pressure coming. Panapinto throws to the end zone. Incomplete. He was looking for Zion Lee, who was bowled over by Darrell Mean Jr. No flags.
Yeah, I've been hesitant to throw anything down there. There have been 3 or 4 passes down to that side of the field, and there was contact in each of them, and no calls on any of them.
Well, that contact has Brandon Whitehead on the sideline. The senior wide receiver was targeted twice at the end of the first half for the Panthers of Sweet Home. The second of those 2 attempts sent him to the sidelines with a head injury. He's out for the remainder of the game. Now this will be another field goal attempt after tying things up at the end of regulation. Zach McGowan will attempt a 37-yarder. It's up, and it is good. What a boot from the soccer player, Zach McGowan.
Zach McGowan will tell you he's a football player, Jack. He just might have just won the game for his team.
He at least puts them up by 3 in overtime. It's the first lead of the game for Sweet Home since their first score back in the second quarter. An Irvin Myrie touchdown gave the Panthers a 7-0 lead. McGowan's field goal at the end of regulation from 32 tied it from 37. He gives the lead.
Now it's on the Sweet Home defense. The stop wins it for him, and on the other side, a touchdown wins it for McKinley.
What more can you ask for, Coach, than this type of finale in just week 6 of the high school football season in Western New York? Glad you could be with us, Coach Fata, and all of those joining us at home as well, wherever you may be.
Well, it's fun, right? And such a big game, too, for both these teams, especially Sweet Home, that this turns their season. They can pull this off. This resets their season for them.
There you get a look at the neon night in the student section for the Sweet Home Panthers on Senior Day as well. All the seniors being recognized before today's game. 1st and 10 at the 20 in overtime. Looking for a response. It's a handoff to the sophomore Hughes. A pickup of 5 or so on 1st down.
They're looking for that whistle. That ball came out. Number 6 stripped that for Sweet Home, Cameron Mindler. Well, different formation. I don't know. We saw that tighter formation on McKinley yet today. They're saying, we're going to run it down your throat in overtime here, and
well, interesting to note, Azaria Dunye back at quarterback for the Macs. It was Brandon Liggins who took over.
Same tight formation here.
Liggins in motion. Handoff to Lewis up the middle. Nikar Lewis to the 10-yard line near the 1st down marker. He got it. 1st and goal now for the Macs.
Yeah, McKinley just saying, you know what, we're gonna run it down your throat and win this football game. And
it's gut check
time. 1st and goal now. Yeah, it certainly is.
This Sweet Home defense, the defensive line, 2 seniors and a junior up front. Herman Wooten, number 77 in his senior season in the middle. Handoff to Hughes, wrapped up, bounces away. Still on his feet as a flag flies along the near sideline.
It's a big call. I think they might get number 2 for illegal motion. He's been running towards the line of scrimmage right before the ball snap.
That's Brandon Liggins, usually the quarterback, perhaps not used to moving before the ball.
Yeah, that's what they got him for. He got away with that on 1st down, but
Penalties have hurt the Macs throughout the second half into overtime now, both on offense and the defensive side of the ball.
Well, that one's not a killer like the holding penalties were, but certainly sets them back.
Now from the 14, it's 1st and goal. Liggins in motion again. Adunye hands it off up the middle. It's Hughes. Still charges forward and gets back inside the 10.
McKinley just caving in the left side of the Sweet Home line there. They're getting some major push.
It's Dylan Applewhite, Carl Jones, Jamil Shelton. On the left side of the line from left tackle to center, Jaden Sanders and Rashawn Riley.
Yeah, I don't know that they need a different play. They could just they're running it straight downhill on the right side there. There it is again.
Lewis up the middle to the goal line. Touchdown! The Macs win it in overtime. McKinley remains undefeated, and they break the hearts of the Panthers on senior night and all but end the season for Sweet Home.
And McKinley got the possession, and they just ran straight downhill. Boom, boom, boom. Took the game and ripped the hearts out of Sweet Home.
Final game stats for the Macs remaining undefeated. They finally crossed the 200 mark of offense. 204 total yards to Sweet Home's 303, though the total yardage does not indicate the result of this game. The McKinley Macs walk away with a 3-point victory to remain undefeated. The Sweet Home Panthers will head to West Seneca West next week, while the McKinley Macs will head to Hamburg before a Week 8 matchup with the Williamsville East Flames that we'll have on our network on Western New York Athletics. Week 8 from All High Stadium, these McKinley Macs against the Flames of Williamsville East. The Macs win it. It's just their second time beating the Sweet Home Panthers, the first time in regular season play. We thank you for joining us on WNY Athletics for today's contest. For our entire crew, BJ on the camera, Dana on the camera, Francis down on the field, Tim Gardner producing, Mike Fatta, my number 2. I'm Jack Cruiser saying thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. And I bid you adieu.
Life can be full of surprises, but not always the good kind. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care, and we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
I love being home.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.